Inside PressBox is presented by Friedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Friedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.
This was more about our university, I think, than our athletic department. It saves our athletic department financially, but it's a great move for our university.
Dr. Lowe talked about.
Welcome to another edition of Inside PressBox. I'm your host, Stan the Fan Charles. That was University of Maryland head basketball coach Mark Turgeon speaking in College Park last week, talking about the Terps exiting of the ACC and into the Big Ten. This week on the show, Bill Ordine will be joining me to discuss how the decision to move to the Big Ten will impact the business side of Terps athletics. I'll also talk with Stevenson head coach on the soccer side, John Plaviak, about the special things happening with his team. But joining me first is an old friend, former Baltimore Colt and longtime broadcaster Tom Matte, who is also now the director of sports media for Keeper Media and KeeperMedia.com, makers of a new type of sports collectible. And we welcome our friend Tom Matte to the show. Tom, always great to see you, my friend.
Stan, it's been a long time. We've had a lot of fun together broadcasting.
We have had a lot of fun.
No question.
Hey, this Baltimore Ravens team, as we talk now, 8-2. Kind of a surprising 8-2 the way they've played, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You know, some defensively they've really had a sort of bad season right off the top. Flacco looks good one game, looks bad the next game. Offense looks good, defense looks good. So it's sort of a mission match right now. But boy, I'll tell you, being 6-2 right now is great.
They're 8-2 as we talk.
8-2.
I'm going to ask you a real quick question before we talk about this unique collectible that you're involved with. Is this team, I know this is going to sound like sacrilegious, are they potentially better defensively without Ray Lewis in there?
I think Ray lost a couple of steps in there. I think, he's in there. He's been in there. He's probably the greatest middle linebacker I've ever seen, other than maybe Butkus I could compare to him in our era. But Ray is just fantastic. I think I saw him at the beginning of training camp this year. He had lost about 30 pounds, looked fantastic, lost that weight so he could get that one step he was missing. But again, now he comes up with the injury, and I mean, as many years as he's played in this league,
Father Time is undefeated.
That's exactly right.
All right. Well, that's a great way to get into talking a little bit about why we had you on here, because Ray Lewis will probably be somebody in a very few years you'll want to get on one of these cards. Now, I hope we can zoom in on, I'm going to put it over here. And Tom Matte, tell us a little bit about Keeper Media and what you're doing with collectibles, Tom.
Well, what we're really trying to do is this is a card here that has a USB port on it. And what we do is going to be able to plug it into a computer, regular computer, be able to plug it in.
There's the real one.
There's the real one with
Johnny Unitas. All right, go ahead.
I was the dummy model.
You were the test dummy.
Test dummy.
All right.
But we got one for John Unitas. We have other players around the league that we're doing. Guys like Mike Ditka, Franco Harris, Sonny Jurgensen, Howie Long. We got Roger Staubach and Phil Simms. So we've gone after all the high-profile guys. You throw Joe Montana in there, too.
Yep.
And so we really got some great guys. Sonny Jurgensen over in Washington.
Now, what makes this unique is it took them a while to zoom in on this, so I won't do it again, but you pulled the tab down, and this goes into your computer.
Yes, your USB
and there is
port.
How much NFL footage of the player?
Well, there's about 4 gigabytes, which is about 45 minutes of content. All that content has been given to us by NFL Films. We have the technology, they have all the content, and we've put that in, and it's really turned out great. Some of the highlight films you see are fantastic. You get to see John Unitas' Hall of Fame speech, the two-minute offense. We see Joe Montana with his grip, with Rice and all those guys, with Ditka catching the ball, with Walter Payton running the football, Sonny Jurgensen. You're going to get all this inside stuff that's been in the vaults of NFL Films for years that hasn't been seen. So it's a real collectible. And so we're really going to have some fun with it, and it's a great Christmas present.
It's no question about it. You can find out more about it at Keeper, and it's spelled Keepr media.com.
Yes,
and you can look at how these things are going to be developed. This is a long-term, it's kind of the new world of collectibles that you guys have created. There's no question about it.
You got that.
What I really like is that you've ended up partnering with the NFL right from the get-go. And a nice portion of this, I'm not going to say all of it, but a nice portion of this is going to help some of the old players, wives,
it's going to
indigent players.
It's going to the Player Care Foundation, which, you know, when we negotiated with Roger Goodell and the head guy up there, his advisor, Joe Brown, has been sort of our mentor in the corner. And he walked in and he says, hey, listen, we make enough money. Let's take the proceeds from this, or some of the proceeds from this, and make sure it goes to the Player Care Foundation to help retired players and their wives, because we kick the bucket early sometimes, so these wives have got to be taken care of.
Luckily, you haven't kicked
not
the
yet,
bucket.
not yet.
Tom.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
You're not, and you got yourself an interesting, and I'll never call it with you the final chapter, but a new chapter for Tom Matte. We thank you for coming in. We're supporters of you and supporters of the cause. Appreciate your coming
very much. Stan, thanks so much. It's really going to help, and it's a great Christmas gift.
All right. Tom Matte, check it out on www.keepermedia.com. No E at the end of Keeper. When we get back, we'll be joined by my friend Stevenson head soccer coach John Plaviak. So don't go away. Inside PressBox is presented by Friedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Friedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.